Hi guys, Jess Speciale here and you are watching Mum on Purpose. So today for you guys, I'm just going to do a quick video. I've been promising it for ages. I put a lot of pressure on myself to really deliver the goods. But you know, I think as long as the information is out there, you're going to get something from it. So I'm just not one of these people that plans my videos down to a T. I pretty much just show up and speak exactly, my truth and what I feel and what I understand. And in trying to plan things, I don't think I'm as authentic. So rather than over kind of complicating things and over planning things, I'm just going to give it to you exactly how I am. So hopefully it comes across how I want it to. The thing I'm going to talk to about today is this topic of purpose. How do you get on purpose? But how do you find out what your purpose is to begin with? I think that we really want to understand exactly, how do we stay on purpose? How do we stay productive? How do we make sure that we're getting the most out of our day? For me, being on purpose is really being intentional, being mindful, making sure that I'm doing the things that I say that I'm going to do. But also, not be apologetic for any of my decisions. If I'm just having a day where I'm staying home with the kids and I'm enjoying the day and we're having a great day, hey, that part of my purpose is being an incredible mother to my children, giving them time, giving them my energy, giving them my attention. If I'm just having a day at home with the kids, I'm still on purpose. I didn't just say, okay, I'm having a bad day today. I got to just play with my kids, so that's me being on purpose. No, it's a decision that I made that I wanted to be a present parent. And so I try to make sure that I'm doing things during the day to do that. The key thing here is, how do you know what your purpose is? Can you have more than one purpose? And how do you find it? If you are a multi-skilled person and you're able to bring good gifts into a variety of areas and you want to work on a variety of areas in your life, then I believe do that. I don't believe that you should put yourself down if you're not becoming like the expert in a particular niche or something. For myself, I'm a very multi-skilled person. But for some reason, all of my skills seem to come together to serve me in whatever I'm after. Now, the way that I decided what my particular purpose is, people say, write what you're passionate about and go do that. Well, there's an issue with passion. Okay, passion is kind of like motivation. We get really excited, but it doesn't always last. Whereas purpose, if we understand what we're working on and why we're working towards it, I find that going to work on purpose rather than going to work on passion, passion will only get you so far. And as we know, if you want to achieve anything in life, sometimes you're going to have to do some hard yards. And if you go on this whole whim of passion, then when it gets hard, you're not always going to be passionate about it. And if you are relying heavily on this emotion of passion, you might get fooled into thinking, oh, this isn't my passion. So this is not what I should be doing. Whereas if you've decided that you have a purpose and what you're doing is you're working towards this purpose, you understand that there's going to be some bumps in the road. There's going to be some hard work that has to be done. And you expect that when these obstacles come up, or when you get to these moments where you really need to dig in and do what you say, you understand it's part of the journey. That is why I believe that sometimes purpose is better than passion, because passion can become fleeting. Like if you just became into any relationship because of passion, passion can definitely get you started. And it is really what you need in the beginning to create momentum. But if you did that in your relationships and you relied solely on passion, well, by the time the first kid comes around, everybody would be split up from their partners, because we all know sometimes the passion doesn't always stay when you have a tiny human hanging off you 24 hours a day. So whereas your purpose of becoming a strong family unit is what really can keep you together, even when it's hard, even when you're not sleeping, even when you don't always agree on things. For me, having a strong family bond is really important to me. This is something that we need to work at. And sometimes you need to do things you don't want to do. Sometimes you need to just grit your teeth and get the kids out and have a nice family day. It's not always easy in that process. I'm not always passionate about going to the park when it's really hot. But at the end of the day, I've created memories with my kids and I made an agreement to them, and then I followed through, and then I feel so much better about myself because I did what I said that I was going to do. So in that respect, You can understand again, you know, how sometimes passion needs to kind of go to the side, and then we can work on our purpose. But what if you don't know what your purpose is? There are a couple of things that you can do to find out really what your purpose is. When I was younger, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, and one of my mentors said to me, if you don't know what you do want to do, then you need to write down everything you don't want to do. Because then by process of elimination and by contrast, it will become more evident of what you want to do. So that's one thing you can do. I don't always recommend that because it was really tedious. I had to write out 100 things that I didn't want to be, do, or have, so that I could eventually come to a thing that I did want to do. But then I was also so entrenched and enmeshed in other people's expectations of myself that it wasn't easy for me to decipher exactly what I wanted. So it can be difficult as well when you are so used to having other people's opinions and trying to make them happy, of defining what your own particular purpose is. The best way that I've heard it put is, it's a really grim way to look at it, but for me it's always been the most effective. It covers such a broad range for me that I believe it's actually easier to live on purpose each day. So the exercise was to imagine that you're at a funeral and it's your funeral. What would you love people to say about you? How would you love people to say that you lived your life? And what kind of people will be there? Will you have a large group of people based on your life at the moment? Or do you imagine a great range of people of all different walks of lives, from all different types of connections? And what are the things they're saying about you? What are they saying about how you lived your life? So thinking about these, you write down the qualities that you want to have had, the experiences in life that you want to have had, the things that you want people to be saying about you. So for me, being a supportive partner, being a great mother and role model, these were two really important things for me. And then I kind of had other things in there, you know, I wanted to be a happy person, but not just happy in myself, but I wanted to be the type of person who just by my presence, I could also bring out the best in others. And then that made me realize I needed to attain a whole lot of other skills and able to do that. You can start to decipher that way. And then you can also see is the life that you're living. If you keep living your current lifestyle every day, how are you going to end up? Where's your life going to end up in another year, in another 5 years, or to the end of your days? And are you happy with that? And if you're not happy with that, then you maybe need to start thinking about what really is your purpose in life. Where do you want to end up, and are you on track with that? Maybe some changes need to be made. So that helped me define what my main priorities were and my main values were. And then the second exercise you can do to really refine this is to design your ideal day. So say you could have any day in the world, money, time wasn't an issue, what would be happening? And because I say money and time's not an issue, don't get caught up in material things. Material things are great, but I really want you to think deeper and emotionally within yourself. So how are you living your day? Where are you living? What are you doing? Who are you surrounded by? Are you surrounded by friends? Are you surrounded by family? Do you go off to work? Do you create impact? Are you sitting at home? You know, are you looking at photos from, or like scrolling through photos from a family holiday? What do you do in the morning when you first wake up? So design your ideal day that when you think about it and you visualize, it just makes you so happy or fulfilled. Fulfillment's the main thing that we want to go for here, because happiness is just a state. Happiness isn't actually a thing deep within you. You can be happy just like that. You can change your physiology, you can change it, and you can be happy. Happiness is a state. Happiness is a decision, but fulfillment comes from something completely different. So you want to create and think about an ideal day which will leave you feeling really fulfilled. Now that you've written your ideal day, now that you've written out how you want your life to end up, you can bring together what are the values from how you want your life to end up. What are your priorities? Look at your ideal day. What are your priorities? How do you want to live? And then you can compare them to your life now. Now here's the issue. Do not get lost in comparison analysis. You know, comparison is the thief of joy. Do not look at these two things and then think, oh, big but I've got these restrictions and I've got, you know, this, because if you start coming up with all of these reasons why it's not going to happen, I'm just going to ask you, are you happy with that excuse? Are you happy with the reason you've given as to not living the life that you want to, because you've just decided that this is your purpose? And if it doesn't feel right, and if it doesn't give you that emotion inside, and if it doesn't give you that ache of fulfillment, it's not your purpose. You need to go deeper. You need to be honest with yourself. Now, the other way, if these kind of left you completely lost and then you don't know what to do, what you can do is, you know, kind of have these set out and understand, because from there what we can do is we can identify what our goals are going to be. So we can go, okay, so based on how I wanted my life to end up, based on my ideal day, these are the goals, these are the skill sets I need to acquire. So what am I going to do each day to help me achieve those things? So essentially it's part of goal setting. But if this is still confusing you a bit too much, other things you can do, which is an exercise that I've been doing for myself in becoming more authentic, is I catch myself being myself. Because I spent so much of my life being the type of person that everybody else wanted me to be. I thought that my dad wanted me to become a doctor. Well, he did. I didn't think that, but I thought that's what I had to be. You know, I spent so long thinking I had to act a certain way, date a certain guy, you know, be a certain type of person, that along the way I got lost. And I got so used to being this person and just kind of going through the motions of what this person was supposed to be, that I lost a lot of myself, because I couldn't recognize who I was anymore. So rather than thinking I need to leave my family, I need to leave this relationship, I need to leave this job, I would just catch myself being myself within certain situations. When would I laugh hysterically? When did I feel a oh yeah moment? When did I feel a sense of accomplishment? When did I feel a sense of fulfillment? When was I in flow? When was time just extending because I was present? Or when was it flying by because I was having so much fun? When were these moments where I would look back and think, wow, I had a really good day. What was it about that day that made me feel really happy, fulfilled? You know, what are these moments? These give you clues. Life is always giving you clues, either by what's not happening for you in contrast, so that you can identify what you do want, or leaving you clues in your life as little pockets of fulfillment, of things that just fill your heart cup up, so then you can go, yes, that is me, that is who I am. And by identifying these things, you can line it up with these values which you've identified and go, okay, this is who I am. And now this is my purpose. And how can you be on purpose each day? I've already done a video on how I be productive during the day. I do this specifically using my important versus imperative list. So each day and each week, I just decide what's important for me to do, which are all the things I would love to do, but what's imperative? What are the 3 most important things that I need to do during the day? So I've identified my top 3 purposes, I guess, if you want to call it that. I want to be a really strong mother and role model so that I can raise emotionally intelligent, independent kids. I want to be a strong person in myself so that I can also be a strong partner and also give permission for my husband to be his best self. That's my role as a wife. My role overall is I really want to give people a platform where they can start to feel a sense of inspiration and a sense of being able to achieve things, of confidence, because you know, anybody can be motivated. Motivated is seeing somebody do something and go, yes, I can see that people can do that. Being inspired is seeing that, hey, maybe I can do that. You know, maybe this is possible for me. And that's the kind of impact I want to empower to other people. I feel like we get so taught and so tricked into thinking we need to be people other than who we are. I think it's my mission to get out there, and just by being myself and spreading my own message, again, I give you permission to do the same. So these are my 3 main things. And I might want to make sure that at least on a weekly basis, I'm hitting some kind of purpose within these things. So I have my imperative versus important list. Maybe there are things that I need to do during the day, but I also want to make sure that at some point in being on purpose, I want to be present with my kids. I don't want to just be present. I want to give them the biggest gift that I can, which is my attention. Time isn't even the most important things with children anymore. It's attention. So I want to make sure I have these pockets where I'm giving my children my complete attention. It's not being pulled over here, pulled over there, pulled by a device in my hand. I want to give them my attention. I want to be present with them. You know, I want to make sure that when my husband is talking to me, it's a chatterbox, he loves to talk. So one of my things that I try to do with him at least once a day is listen longer than I want to. And the reason I say that is because not only am I giving him my attention, but when I am like, oh, I wanted to go do this other stuff, I'm like, no, bring it back. Give him more, so then he feels important. And it might only take an extra 5 minutes out of my day, but the impact that has on our relationship is so much more. And then I also want to be getting some kind of message out there on social media, or speaking to somebody where I can help them to feel empowered. And if I'm doing those 3 things, which is really achievable to do in any given day, I'm living my life on purpose. So you can understand now, once you've identified what your clear values are and what your purpose is, then it's easy to break it down and understand how you can achieve that. Now, I love goal setting. So from the kind of person I want to be in my ideal day, I'm constantly redoing them because I need to understand what kind of skills do I need to attain still. I still need to develop a lot of communication skills in getting my message across one-on-one. I'm not sure why I find it easier to do it to a crowd, but one-on-one, there are skills I still need to develop. That's something I need to work on. I still need to develop a whole lot of different skills in different areas. So these are things I'm constantly working on as extras, you know, to achieve my main goals in life. But in terms of being on purpose, it is what you decide. And the best way to gain confidence is to follow through on your agreements that you've made to yourself. And again, I can do another video on having confidence, because it's something that I really lacked, and I found a few simple tricks which actually were creating or taking away 80% of the confidence which I had in myself. And keeping an agreement to yourself is one of the biggest things that you can do to build your own confidence. I hope that this video kind of helps you to understand how to define your purpose and also how to stay on purpose. I know that it's a bit of a long video. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I also did not prepare this. This is school drop-off face. Again, I imagine this video being so perfect and so polished, but sometimes it's just important to get the message out there. So look past the hair and the school drop-off face and just embrace, you know, I'm doing this just to try and get my message out there. And by doing that, I've lived my day on purpose today. So thank you so much. I hope that you are able to apply some of this and do the work, because you got to show up and do the exercises. You got to show up and do the work for you. That's the first step. If you don't get anything out of those exercises, then okay, you know, you've given it a go. You've tried to establish the type of person that you are, the type of person that you want to, you know, the type of life that you want to live. But if you don't show up for the exercises, if you don't show up and do the thing, then you're not going to get anything out of it anyway. So you've just wasted however long just listening to me waffle and babble. So make sure you show up and do it. But I hope that you do get something out of it. And if you do, please leave me a comment or like the video and let me know what it is that you got out of it, because then I can make more videos that hopefully can help you And by living my own truth, my own intention, I can hopefully give you permission to do the same. So thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I will speak to you guys next time. Thank you.